I'm Taren S, and this is the House of Witchcraft. I'm an old witch with almost 40 years experience, and I know a couple of good secrets. Are you ready to brew a little magic with me? Well, come on in then. Hello, Crossroads witches and other interesting magical folks and beings. I included you too. How is everyone today? I'm so excited to be seeing y'all leaning in the growth of the channel. Of course, if you're new, hit that subscribe, like, notify, all those YouTube buttons. And 13 Moons to the Crossroads, our virtual witch community. It's amazing. Y'all need to come check it out, witch. We got good stuff. All right? We got good stuff. We have full moon guides. We've got Sabbat guides, special feast guides. All right? And then, of course, we have very different PDFs that are full of all sorts of good stuff. Ashiana and I have been busy, okay? And, of course, I wanted to also give a quick shout out. Y'all are going to see it in the next video, too. If you go up to House of Witchcraft, you can get our PDF Happy Yule coloring page. I just printed mine out. I'm getting ready to go sit and color it and get bright and sparkly in the season. houseofwitchcraft.com. Sign up for the newsletter also if you want. We have good things on that. All right, we are going to get on to what is today's topic. It's called intuition, intuitive magic. And of course, y'all know I have notes. I just did a really great discussion I got to do with Tesseract and Dana in the last video where we talked about intuitive and ritual magic. You know, how are they working together? Is there a better best? And you know, I'm going to tell you, they're both better. They're both best. All right? For some folks, ritual magic, a very strict format, is how their brain operates. All right? It is good magic. They raise amazing energies. Now, for some of you other witches out there, all right, intuitive magic, doing what we're compelled, okay? And we raise some great energies. And for those of us like me who sort of mix them together is something I have found over time. But to be able to do that, you must study ritual magic in its entirety. Do not take out bits and pieces and try to make it yours. Not right. All right, you can incorporate after you develop a great working knowledge within ritual structure, and you can start freeforming it, so to speak. All right, but it is, I just don't want you to think you can pick and choose, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But at the same time, yes, you can pick and choose. So no wonder we're all confused half the time. All right? You know, it's like, am I, aren't I? You know, but ultimately, sit with yourself. And if it feels right, and if you know you are giving credit, citing sources, all right, acknowledging where it came from, then you're doing good. Okay? The most important part of any magical system is your voice. Is it authentic? Are you doing you, boo? Okay? Now, we're getting on to intuition, intuitive magic. All right, I'm going to start with the definition. First, let's figure out what word we're talking about. We're all thinking the same thing. Intuition can be defined as the ability to understand something instinctively without the need for conscious reasoning. I said it earlier, I was compelled. I did it because it felt right. It is a form of insight, higher knowledge, or wisdom. It may also refer to our sixth sense that enables us to grasp information beyond what our mind could ordinarily perceive. All right? Ooh, don't that sound good? All right? The original meaning of the word intuition comes from the Latin word inturi, which means to look towards. That is why intuition is also known as your inner voice. Intuition can be used to guide your magic, whether it's practiced formally or informally. Your intuition is an important part of your magical practice. All right? And first step is, how do I listen to this intuition, inner voice thing? All right? And this is I'm going to tell you, intuitive magic takes just as much time and effort as ritual magic. It's not easier, it's just different. You're going to have to apply. You're going to have to practice. All right? And the first step I'm going to say first step. There ain't no first step. This is some of the things I've learned for tuning into that intuitive inner voice. It may work for you, it may not. All right? Now, first learn to be still and quiet. And that's hard for some of you witches out there. All right? I know y'all. Okay? You need to learn to be calm, that almost meditative state, a place of mindfulness, being in the moment and listening to you. All right, that's where I put 2 feet down in the dirt and start just taking nice deep breaths and just sort of seeing what floats by. All right, you're going to find you're going to have to try different techniques, different ways to tune into you. All right, take some time for yourself every day to listen to your inner voice. Back to mindful meditation, sit in front of your altar for 5 minutes. Free-form journaling, where you just take a journal, sit there, and whatever thought comes in your brain, write it down, okay? All right? And this is where, again, starting to tune into you, being aware of your feelings, your emotions, all right? And where your body is physically. Listen to you is what this is. And like I said, there is no one technique. Here's 3 steps. You're intuitive. I wish, witch. All right? But it's about learning to trust it. I think this is the biggest step. Because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I thought that. And then you didn't do it, did you? No. Because you started thinking. Don't think. Just do. As soon as it's there, be like, I gotta go do this. All right? Start learning to trust your intuition. All right? When making decisions, start leaning into it. It might be a little scary at first, but you're gonna find you'll be like, oh, it worked. Oh, it happened. All right? And the way you're gonna have to find that out is you gotta do it. Start listening to you. Cut out those other voices, opinions, and things. All right, that's really check in with yourself. Does this feel right? It's the biggest thing. All right, I'm like, okay, let's do it. And that's what you have to lean in, witch. Lean in. All right? I can't teach you how to trust you. I wish I could. Okay? I wish somebody could have taught it to me. All right? Instead, I spent a long time learning it. And that's why when I had the opportunity to get on here and start talking to you folks, I'm like, I'm going to do it. Because I wish I had these videos talking about, trusting my intuition. And it is hard. It is difficult. But you've got to do it. You have to have the courage to walk through the door, witch. All I can do is crack it. I can show you stuff, but you're going to have to do it now. Okay? Now, one way to strengthen your intuition and get in touch with it more often is by practicing divination. in whatever form you choose to practice divination. Divination is tarot, oracle cards, pendulum, boards, throwing bones, throwing runes, throwing sticks, throwing crystals. Pretty much you can throw anything you want to. They have sometimes a cloth or a fur skin that may have a sigil on it, and they throw it on there. All right, there are, oracle cards, tarot cards, whatever, tea leaf, if you want to do daily tea leaf readings. All right, divination is a big subject, big pie there. All right, they also have the head divination, where you see what your lumps in your head are and they tell you things. All right. If you've never practiced any form of divination, I'm going to recommend that you start with either tarot or oracle cards. Either or. It's about finding a deck that you vibe with. Finding a deck that has imagery that makes sense to you. Where you pick it up and you're like, oh, pretty picture. I see stories in these pictures. Good place to start with tarot cards. It is very common. For the first deck or two, you won't like it. Which be true, but it is. You're going to tune into which deck you like. And yes, you can buy your own damn deck of tarot cards. This is some weird urban myth that I've had folks tell me about. And I'm like, when I was a young witch, all those millennia ago, we bought our own cards. Nobody told us we had to wait for somebody to give them to us. All right. All right. Now, divination is a very intuitive process. So, practice daily divination. You can do a simple 3-card turn, write it down. Next day, 3-card turn, write it down, and just build upon this, all right? Moon cycles, or 2 or 3 or 4, is what you're going to have to do it for, all right? This isn't a do it once or twice. You need to do this until you can feel it, and you turn those cards and you're like, boom, this is what's going to happen. All right? And the way you're going to get there is by doing it every day. All right? Every overnight success witches is 10 years in the making. All right? You know how you get successful? You get up and go to work. You do it every day. You show up 15 minutes early. You stay 15 minutes late. You are committed. That's how you're going to have to treat your intuition. That I am going to hone this tool. I'm going to learn to use this tool. All right? We all have it. We all have, the ones that are like, great intuition is because they have been practicing and leaning into it. All right? Now, another way to develop our intuitions is through our dreams. Many of you witches and magical folks out there, your dreams are very intuitive. All right, and learning to write it down. I ain't saying it out loud what I'm thinking. Write it down, okay? You want to get into your magic. You want to become a big, bad, powerful witch. Well, honey, you're going to have to put in the effort to make that happen. All right? And it's day, week, month, year. All right? And really paying attention to the dreams, writing them down, starting to see where you are used that dream unconscious, subconscious, that liminal in-between space is where you spark intuitively. You're going to have to write your dreams down. All right, now let's talk about our intuitive practice with our spiritual practice, our intuitive with spiritual. Blah, blah, my words twisted. All right. How do we do it within spiritual practice? Well, we talk about it when we're getting our crystals, when we're setting our altars up, all right? When we're putting offerings out. These are all intuitive activities, okay? Setting up an altar to divinity, to your relationship with a god or goddess is done intuitively. All right? And so don't be like, I'm not intuitive. And then you're sitting up the nicest altar we've ever seen. All right? Understand you are using that ability and you can use it elsewhere. All right? And when it comes to magic, what we just started talking all about was learning to really feel what you need to do. All right? Where what you need to do on a full moon, if you're doing something, dark moon, if you're doing a working, all right? If you're contemplate doing a working, that's our intuitive area that we need to tune in to, all right? Your intuition is a valuable tool. Use it, witch. All right. The more you practice, the stronger your intuition will become. All right? So I hope this helps you, inspires you, encourages you to start leaning into the magic that's within you, witch. All right? You ain't got to change nothing. Just the way you are right now in this moment. That's perfect. Now, start learning about that person. Start learning your intuition. All right. I hope it helps y'all. And of course, like I said, go get that free Yule PDF. If this is after Yule, lean into the next Sabbat. We'll be having things up on House of Witchcraft. All right, witches, thank y'all so much for your support, for your comments, for everything that I've this past 2.5 years. I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much. You all have taught this old witch a lot of new things. And I am so grateful for all of it. And I want to speak it out loud, and I want to speak it to the universe. All right, witches, go have that bright, blessed day. And as always, amen, blessed be, ashe, and ebobo.